So I hope everyone can hear me. So good afternoon, everyone, and good evening to those who are joining us from Hong Kong. I'm Thomas Sear, your host for today. I'm responsible for communications. I'm just going to give it a second to let everyone in. All right, I'm going to hand over. Okay. I'm going to hand over the host to Professor Lai.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
That should have worked. There you go. So, short introduction. So, welcome to all of you. Here it's the middle of the day, so it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I suppose that Professor Lai, it's 8 o'clock in the evening where you are. Right. So a little bit more about the presenter of today. Professor Russell Lai has been working for over 20 years in quality. He has experience, especially in quality and innovation management, and especially in the testing and certification industry. He has been active at the Hong Kong Society of Quality since 1997, and he has cooperated with international organizations such as ASQ, the American Society of Quality, and the Asian Network for Quality, as well as the World's Alliance for Chinese Quality. Today, he will be talking about some really hot topics like digitalization and Quality 4.0, and what it means for quality management in 2021. As you notice, the webinars, the VCK webinars have become quality talks, which changed from our webinar platform to Zoom to create a little bit more interaction, a little bit more participation, and more networking opportunities. We also want to raise a bit more dialogue, so instead of just focusing on Q&A, we really want to give you the opportunity to go into a little bit of a conversation with the presenter and maybe even with each other. So a couple of guidelines before we begin. I'd like to ask you to leave the microphones on mute and the cameras off. After the presentation, you're welcome to turn the cameras on so we can see you. Please raise your hands as well if you want to pose a question. For questions during the presentation, please leave them in the chat. Thanks again for the questions that you sent beforehand. We'll make sure to go over them at the end, and I'll hand the presentation over to Professor Lai. Good luck, Professor.
Okay. Welcome everybody. Good afternoon and good evening. Because Belgian time and Hong Kong time have several hours left. So before I'm shared, okay, I would like to introduce our Hong Kong Society for Quality. This is our website, HKSQ.org. If you would like to look more about Hong Kong Society for Quality, you can visit our website. And I prepared a 1-minute video for a very short time to introduce our background and activity. So just for 1 minute. So I would like to introduce today's topic is how to be a quality 4.0. So during this topic, digital quality innovation, I will introduce the innovation and quality first, and then we'll talk about the digitalization. After that, I'll introduce the Industrial 4.0 and how 4.0 enhanced to become our Quality 4.0, and what is the Quality 4.0 professional model I will propose. So, do you hear clearly? We can respond to me through the chat. If no problem, I will continue my talk. It will be a little bit fast because the huge topic. Okay, thank you. First, I would like to talk about the innovation. There are several definitions. For example, in ISO 9000 2015 version, it's called the new define innovation to be a new or changed object realized or redistributed value. In different management standard, they also have talked about the transformation of the new idea or idea into a novel product or process, a new service in the industry, and also that do not have the proof history of performance or are not covered by the organization current practice. And some ideas is a successful exploration of the new ideas. In this European standard CENTS 16555-1, they talk about the implementation of a new and significant improved product, process, new market method, or new organization method in business practice, workplace organization, or external relationship. The most updated one is ISO 156,000 last year version, innovation management. Their definition is the same as the ISO 9000, is a new or changed entity, realizing or redistribution value. So, how we distinct invention and innovation. Invention is an creation of new idea or concept, and innovation is turning the new concept into commercial success or widespread use. I like this chart because invention is from cash to idea. It's like our R&D in the university, and innovation is from idea to cash. Some entrepreneur, they will have the new idea and build the startup, so become from idea transfer to cash. So sometimes we are talking about quality and innovation. Do they have relationship? Based on Peter Murray and Jen, ASQ Innovation Division, they issued a book. And they talk about innovation and improvement have many overlapping place, and they are close related. However, quality is related to customer satisfaction and continued improvement. That is why I use this concept to write the definition that both domains will overlap through improvement. So sometimes we call quality innovation is in the quality field, where innovation is a subset. If we reverse innovation quality, in innovation domain field, quality is a subset. So I would like to survey the first. Do you agree quality and innovation are closely related? I use the poll. Maybe we have the 1 or 2 minutes poll. You agree or they? So, and then I will share your result. 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. Okay, time is up. I'll use 1 minute left. So most people are agreed. One neutral, other certainly they are complementary. Maybe more than 10 years ago, some our former expert, they don't agree because in the past, quality they think it is a standardization and not. And they think innovation is a big full one, big change, so they have some contradiction. But however, now the concept is change. They are complementary, and if use our definition, improvement involves quality and innovation. That is why we agree they can work together. Okay. Now, this is a major trend. This is major trends in innovation, industrial evolution, from first industrial revolution to second, third, and fourth. You have this is a McKinsey study for the different. Industrial 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0, the productivity will be increased much more. Sorry, I think it is some mistake in here. Okay, and then come back to okay, we are talking about the background, and then we'll come back to digitalization. So in my study, I will use the quality and innovation tools development from, this is timeline. It's from quality control, SPC, quality gurus, TQM, ISO, Six Sigma, and Lean. This is a development from quality theory and principle. And then in innovation tools, we are developed in the beginning, R&D, we use try and error. And then we developed the brainstorming from USA, Japan, and hence brainstorming become a quality. After that, Russian, this is a very powerful innovation method to handle contradiction problem. It's true. In the 35 years ago, China, certain people know that Professor Troyman developed the standards to solve contradiction problem too, but they have a totally different theory in the digital and other tools. For example, now we have the design thinking, etc. When I separate in the different industrial revolution, we can find that during the I 2.0 to 3.0, mostly quality principles are developed in here, and then at the end in the now industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution. So in this table, I'm separate the quality evolution, innovation evolution, and human capability extension. So I use a Professor Troyman idea. In the beginning, it's a power extension full machine that is an arm extension, arm power. In the second, this color is a second industrial revolution. We have the car, we have train, also a power extension, but from leg, telephone, from ear extension, TV, eye extension. It's you are thinking as a human body, we extend our ability. Okay, in the before 2000 is the third industrial revolution. We have a power of computer and network. That is a part of our brain function extension Now it become a information society. Now it's a Quality 4.0, digitalization, self-induced correction, and self-regulate. It's the power of AI. It means human intelligence, the intelligent society is a building now. So we are now in this yellow color in the Industrial 4.0 area. Okay, now we are talking about digital transformation and Industrial 4.0. So from Professor Mohan Shari from UK, because I attend is a seminar in the ANQ, he talking about define the role of quality in the uncertain future, the disruptive thinking of Quality 4.0. He is the first professor writing the book for Quality 4.0. And he talking about digital disruption is underrated. And from the global internet user by last year, is a 5 billion. Network device by last year is a 15 billion, and global mobile IP traffic 367 EB, and network traffic from sensor is increased 14%. Digital investment by last year is a 14 gigabyte. The huge data he described, and then he observed the digital disruption has already happened. For example, Uber owns load tax, is a world-largest tax company. Airbnb is world-largest accommodation provider without real estate. WeChat, large phone company, low infrastructure of telecom. And Alibaba is a world mostly wearable retail, low inventory. And Facebook, media owner without contact. So Society 1 is the fastest growing brand, no actual money. Netflix, they are largely movie house, but they without own any cinemas. And Google is a largely software renders without apps. Without apps they develop. It means that the digital disruption happens and affect our life and change the game rule. So it need to take attention about that. So let us discuss what does digital disruptive really mean? What are the technology-driven digital transformation we need to consider, and how company implement digital transformation? I've used this slide to discuss with our students, and they think. And this is the fashion, scientific fashion from China, called the third body. It say, I destroy you. It has nothing to do with you. What is meaning? I use the translate from this is someone, the one who defects you at this stage is not necessarily an opponent, but a passerby. That means they are not your competitor, direct competitor, but they have another field pass by but destroy your business. That is why the digital transformation is necessary to avoid digital disruption from other industry. So I have another poll, maybe 1 minute or to vote to how significant digital transformation in Industry 4.0 you think. Oh, sorry, this is a typo. Yes. This type. The first choice should be very insignificant. Okay, almost I'm stop here. And sure. Sorry, in the first it should be very insignificant, but I think low people believe it. This fee should be come here is a 70%, almost 100% will find it significant or very significant. Okay. Now, digital transformation. From IQ and other academic, James Direct, he say digital transformation many people think going paperless, connected device, driverless car, AI, data warehouse, cloud computing. He proposed making big data useful. James said big data needs to be properly connected, keys, stored, formatted, and accessible for analysts to make better and more consistent decisions, not simply hope. So we need to make it useful and can help you to make decisions. Hold is mean accumulate and stick together. It's not useful, but you need to digest and make it useful. Okay, we'll talk. Now, I would like to introduce the Industry 4.0 based on Fraunhofer Institute of Production Technology. Fraunhofer Institute for Production Technology. I have attended this in-house 5-day training during I'm serving in Science Park 2 years ago, and I would like to share his approach. Their approach was employed in Hong Kong, especially our government, through Hong Kong Productivity Council to invite them to come to Hong Kong to help our SME. What does Industrial 4.0 really means? It's the first diagram say it's not just automation. If we only for automation is Industrial 3.0. So in the Industrial 4.0 platform, this report talking about the definition is the new level of organization and control over the entry value chain of the life cycle of product. It's the first here, and this the first industrial revolution availability of all relevant information in real time. I highlight is that real time is very important. By connecting all incidents involved in the whole value chain, and the connection of people, things, system create dynamic, self-organizing, real-time, optimized value-added connection within and across the company. That is the most important. Is a real-time, self-organizing, and optimized value-added connection. That's the key point. So, intelligent brain and a whole value chain. This diagram to show you some example is you have the data center with KPI. Hope is like your pilot in your control room. Every signal or a situation you can monitor and control and early alert to you. And they have the remote monitoring, CPS machine tools, CPS production cell, smart boss, smart pass, CPS carrier. It means all almost automotive and connected, and you have the real-time data to recognize the production situation. So in the model, they will emphasize the digital, horizontal, and vertical integration. In your company, you have the ERM, MES, and different system, document management system, etc., and BI, business intelligence, etc. In the company itself, we lead to vertical integration. However, through your supply chain management and also customer relation management, we lead to horizontal integration. That is why we call it the information is collected by different IT system module and integrated together. How Industry 4.0 to improve our decision making? There are separate using this. First, we have the Industry 3.0, mean that your data is a visibility. Enhancement of data availability is important. The impact on your development process. Second, we go up to why does it happen. You understand. It means your data transparency and you can interpret of big data. After that, we need to have the modeling, improve the predictability through establish pattern and visualize the model. AI sometimes used in here. We have the what will happen, we know, be prepared. At the end, we make the decision based on smart data. They say adaptability is at this time we call Industry 4.0. We can and autonomous reaction success. We call it self-optimization. The more we can do it, the higher degree of Industry 4.0 maturity we achieve, and higher value the organization got. And Industry 4.0's Navigator, they propose this model. In this model, we have the technology trend, social trend, and consider the key value. Expand, you have to, because you have a new digitalization company and new digital business model will form, and through your smart product, smart process, smart network, smart production to apply this concept. But however, you have the 4 enabler for Industry 4.0: sensor input, connectivity, data analytics, and output actuators. Culture and mindset is really to change to fulfill it, and also you need to have the strategy and organization change. So value, productivity, and efficiency. So it say that I will focus the quality cost will reduce 10 to 20. In the overall, from inventory, manufacturing costs, labor, logistics, quality, feasibility, and time, they say most company will get average up to 20% total productivity and address more individual products with lower capacity costs through smart production and smart levels. Especially early mover will be able to create market barriers. So and then they will usually use different products as why we can call this product as the smart device characteristic. They use the 4 enabler sensor. They have many sensors, for example, our smartphone or our watch or Google Glass. They have different sensors. And connect the network. Now we have the 5G now. We connect network and without latency. And those data can analytic and predict and visualize. You can read it very easy through the analysis of the different analyzed table, and then you can make the decision. So previous one is use this enabler to show you what is the smart product. How about surface within? So it is one of my training to HKQA. I've used this example. Or how about within? It's a surface as a smart certification how to use sensing. Sometimes, you know, in Hong Kong, some registration scheme for wet ride, they need to use RFID for their temperature change during the transportation, their quality, their storage condition, and the time or which year and any information. They can have a sensor to help them and connect to the network. And another can predict when my wet ride, it means the period one is an expensive one. We know can traceable when they in the storage and come from my home and realize the product. It means you can scan the QR code and see their cert, their condition, all information are realized and analysis. It's a smart certification concept. And then most important is advanced technology. There are many different advanced technology and affect our Industrial 4.0, sometimes AI, big data, blockchain, IoT, next generation network, 5G, cyber security, and robotics, etc. We need to, as a quality professional, we need to aware the new technology affecting our production or service. Okay, now talking about Industrial 4.0 to Quality 4.0. Value generation is a production through the elimination of waste. In the past, we used the Six Sigma and Lean Six Sigma. It comes from Lean for 8 waste. And Fraunhofer proposed use a digitalize it. They call digital lean production. For the talent, how can we use the talent, skill and knowledge, inventory, motion, rating, transportation, defection, overproduction, overprocessing, etc. In Lean, in the past, we are many Kanban or all information have the latency because our worker need to write down or counting the inventory and write it in the Kanban or in the Lotto box to make to update the data. But after now, all are automatically using sensor and reduce the latency as much as possible. Now I will use more time to explain in this Industrial 4.0 maturity level. It is proposed by Fraunhofer and embodied in Hong Kong. And they are separate to Industrial 4.0 is up to the mature level they call 4I. If just a ready and entry is a 0I, 1I, 2I, 3I, 4I, and they have a minus. Industrial 2.0 is -2, Industrial 3.0 is -1. That is what it means that in this one is a low information technology and labor intensive. In the -1, we are starting automation and the embodied IT system application. If go to the 0I framework condition, they have awareness Industrial 4.0. And IT infrastructure and data security, they are embodied. Lean processing is a must, but become a digitalized. And advanced tools adopted and mastered. It's been organization and infrastructure enabled for implementation of Industry 4.0. If we go to 1I, the real-time information generation, that means that generation and approval of data and information of all activity real-time. You see, this is what Industrial 4.0 would like to. It's a real-time. Previously, we talked about the digital, horizontal, and vertical integration into the value chain. So it is quite difficult. You have employed investment a lot to integrate all the system. and also help your supplier and get the trust from your customer to make the horizontal integration. So it is a single source of truth. It means all the information in the one database, they can communication to each other. That is the most important. And sensor feedback and machine control. 2I is a real-time information processing. It's a big data analytics and improve the forecasting ability. It's a very certain people can do it here. And 3I is a decentralization decision making, human-machine interface, machine-machine interface, and also industrial apps. They use each other, and mobile assistance system in here. CPS, if you go to C, 3I is a indicator of a fiber physical system. It is still certain people to do that. In 4I is a intelligent autonomous and self-assessed. It's a higher degree automation, self-learning, and optimization of process and product. So I would like to have this poll. What is industrial maturity? Based on the previously talked about in your country. Maybe 1 minute. You think or some more time. Oh, someone answered the 4I. You were very strong. Very good, very good. Okay. Okay. Maybe we have 10 more seconds. This shot is good. Okay. And let me open. Time is up. So most people select 1I, and some are 2I, 3I, 4I have the 1, and 0I, second is a 0 and 1. I think it is reasonable. To see from a Hong Kong case, it's about -1.7 to 0.7. It's a Hong Kong case. We cannot up to even though 1I, and I see some up to 2I. And now I would like to share. This case from recently Digitalization online forum. One of speaker from Hong Kong Productivity Council, they have studied. Hong Kong is a -2, -1, 0I, a little bit 1I. Germany is a 1I up to the 2I, but still not in 3I. It is a more in general speaking, or from their statistic. Okay, at the end, we are talking about how Industry 4.0 to be Quality 4.0. You can see the context of the Industry 4.0. Quality 4.0 is the last part from the process trend of the industrial manufacturing. We are at the end. From enterprise management, product planning, component, flow of material, maintenance, and of components and machine at the end, quality assurance and quality management. So in here, Industry 4.0 covers essential trends of the industrial production: speed, quality, productivity, ergonomic, and flexibility. So we consider mainly on quality. The trend is due to transparent processing and reproducibility, and due to sensor and controller which can monitor the actual production in real time and which are able to step in occurring faults. It means you have the faults and real time find it, and we need to correct it, regulate it. So that is the change from quality. And here, data analytics is the key factor in quality 4.0. Quality in Industry 4.0 become a real-time quality control, automate quality control, and quality analysis, quality knowledge in the real time. So here we are post processing of data analytics, data warehouse, big data framework, etc. is more important in the quality. That is the diagram between integrate IT, CPS, and come to quality point of view. And then we call it, in the beginning, people agree digitalization is very important for Industry 4.0. And it is also the enabler of the quality 4.0. And in the field of action, you can see how can quality management benefit from digitalization. Prevention, we see here the auxiliary development full system requirement engineering and validate full simulation. This is important to validate full simulation that can doing some prevention like digital twins. We can do the simulation first before we produce. Cooperation is a less breakdown, and lower warranty costs through the supporting system for supply chain quality. Transparency is more transparent through continued monitoring with the cockpit, and transparent decision through context-based intelligent analysis and prognostic models. Speed, you higher reactive through the early warning system, and customer oriented is a higher product and quality through better understanding of customer process and better service quality through employer qualification. So it is a field, is an enabler. After digitalization, we can enable quality 4.0. When we studied quality 4.0, this research, NIS research company is a consulting company. He's early proposed this model, even though I see it is a very complicated. And in many ASQ conference, they present their model and do some exercise to in the American company to implement like that. And the key separates the process, technology, and people. I find that the most different quality 4.0 is employed many technology in data analytics, apps development, and connectivity. Others is more traditional, for example, management system, compliance, and culture leadership. It is a basic management requirement. About people, scale up collaboration and competence, etc. ASQ point out the quality 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0 to 4.0. I extract the last one. They say this period from 1995 to present, Industrial 4.0. And there are some summary description and summary that compare quality 4.0 and Industrial 4.0. Industrial 4.0, they say integrated CPS, fiber physical interface, automated working environment. It is not to correct but description. automate processing during the end-to-end system. Human surface only the position where the human judgment cannot be automated and human activation cannot be simulated. And machine learning or machine learn to learn is AI. In Quality 4.0, we use the digitalization to optimize the signal feedback, processing adjustment, adapt learning, support self-induced system. Quality shift is control or oriented force focus from the processing operators to the processing desire. Machine learning how to self-regulate. This is very important. Self-regulate and manage their own productivity and quality. So it is a low lead for the human or time delay. They are automatically self-regulated when they detect use the sensor and big data analysis. Human performance is essential and emphasize the shift from the production to system design and integrate with business system. This is what they define Quality 4.0. ASQ, the 4.0 tools, they have included AI, big data, blockchain. Blockchain is related to traceability. Deep learning, enable technology, machine learning, and data science. This is the diagram. And James Duter is our academic. He proposed new seven newer tools for Quality 4.0. He introduced a ASQ European Quality Conference in Berlin and modified it in the last year. So he said the first new tools you need to know is a predictive model, is supervised learning. You say level diagram. Level diagram, you can write it as an unsupervised disruptive Pareto chart like that. Cluster analysis also unsupervised. Cluster analysis is like the factor analysis. It's a non-parametric and multi-factor analysis, like principal component analysis, and it is more statistic. Test analysis is unsupervised. Now today's data only up to 85%. And descriptive event simulation is a current theory. Event stream processing is unsupervised learning. Sankey diagram is unsupervised learning. Sankey diagram is like the infograph. In the diagram, you can demonstrate the statistic data can present during the Sankey diagram. So when you see this seven new tools of the Quality 4.0, most these tools are embodied in the mathematics or statistic field. It's a lot easy for, I think it's not easy for general quality management people. If they are not from engineering stream, if they come from business processing stream, they may not be know these new tools. So my opinion on the Quality 4.0 is that Quality 4.0 is a holistic view of the evolution of quality management from Industry 1.0 to 4.0. And Quality 4.0 covers a new role, technology, management, new service and product in the changing world. So I highlight this. I still think in the new QC tools use the enabler, I talked before, become a smart quality tools. Not just this one. This is too difficulty. When my teacher, my supervisor, Dr. K.S. Chin, when I'm studying, he told me as simple as 7 quality tools, your innovation tools will be success. So if we propose the new 7 quality tools, it must be very easy and people very easy to handle it and adopt it and use it. So we need to find again. Making things smart indicated the intelligence, automation, flexibility, algorithm, effectiveness, and efficiency, so as to maximize the customer value. And digitalization and data analytics are enabled technology for Quality 4.0. Quality and innovation integration as a result. That is my idea on the Quality 4.0. Come from this idea, at the end, I would like to propose certified Quality 4.0 professional model. In my model, we have separate different level. First is a management system level. We have the quality standard and innovation management standard, at least in the foundation. And then we have the management tools. We have different management tools level. Lean Six Sigma, extended TRIS. It means in the previous one I showed the quality evolution and innovation evolution, and their tools also inside we need to know. And then go to the culture level, quality innovation culture. Peter Murray is an innovation guru in ASQ. He published several books talking about the culture, innovation culture, how we build it up. We can reference it. And advanced technology is one slide I'm talking about. We need the student to know this technology. And then we cover the industrial 4.0. And we, at the end, in quality 4.0 is to integrate the data science into the quality and industrial 4.0 culture. That is my proposed. That is my proposed in industrial 4.0 into the quality 4.0 model. So, okay, this is the end of my presentation. So, any question? Hi.
Hi, Professor Lai. Thank you for the presentation. If anyone has a question, don't be afraid to use your camera and raise your hand so I can give you the permission to ask a question to Professor Lai.
You can use the chat, or I have a recommendation. We can open the camera and take the good photo.
Yes, we can do. There you go. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi.
Hi, Lorraine.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Great to see faces, because last year we did this without seeing all the participants. So this is nice to see. If anyone has any more questions, I know that Ronnie had 2 more questions that he sent, but I don't know if they've been answered during the presentation. Otherwise, the floor is yours, Ronnie.
Yes. I still have 2 questions. I don't recall if these are the same questions I've sent you, Thomas. But fine, Mr. Lai. Talking about Quality 4.0, where do you position the human factor? Because in my daily experience, I still see that engaging all the employees in the improvement process and in the innovation process is still key. So where would you position the human factor here?
So in my presentation, mostly talking about quality management. We talk about quality 4.0 is a quality management under industrial 4.0. Yeah, after industrial 4.0, now I'm planning the proposal for the smart production for high volume, small volume and high mix production. It's a flexible manufacturing. Mostly this in the past, in mass production, or you want the Six Sigma, many processes we need to collect information. We need to process and many people come together. But when you think everything is automatic, you have the sensor in each critical quality control point, that is totally different. I'm thinking, even though in the third body in the future, all the information, if you are highly standardization, highly automation, and all the real-time self-correct and become a zero defect. So what will be quality report for zero people will be different. Our audit, our inspection become 100% inspection and make sure in the past is a sampling, but now if I set the production line with the sensor, AOI or other X-ray to get each part, I can understand all the information. You can see we do the lean. We also need to connect many data and in your Kanban. And then if the machine have problem in the past, they will spark the red light and stop here and people will come. But in the Industry 4.0, I only in the pilot control room. I observe the warning, and then I may not be asked the staff go to that machine to change the part, because I can use the robot to replace the part immediately, even though without people monitoring in the light. So some company become a dark company. My friend in TDK China, they have the almost, even though the testing, they use the robot arm and the movement is our ASQ, mean Applied Science and Technology, Applied Research Institute of Science from government to help them develop this motion. So one of their working workshop, they can do it automatically without human involvement after you all are programming. So Dr. Y.C. Zhao told me before he retired, it is called Industrial 4.0 plus zero defect. They call it is a 4.50. Oh, it's a wonderful.
I understand that, but still, people which are now involved in the production process, so you need to reutilize their talent, because one of the wastes in lean is, of course, not using the talents to the maximum. So that means that you need to re-educate these people, if I understand it well, to design all the systems you're talking about.
Yeah, I think in the short period of time, we are still using the quality principle, using the ISO 9000, but we use the technology to enhance the efficiency. For example, quality audit. In the past, we need to arrange several quality audits, but now maybe we can much more online audit, not necessarily go inside. So we reduce the timing, reduce the operation or enhance the efficiency a certain part. But for customer, I think customer point of view is like face to face for the deal, much more than use the Zoom, etc. So in quality 4.0, at this moment I observe most people are focused on data science at this time, and in Taiwan, we have friends in the Chinese Society for Quality. They are proposed AI plus quality management engineer, AI plus. So they need to learn AI, but I think if we would like to add AI technology into the quality, we are not competitive with computer science graduate people. It's a totally two different language, as I know. So that is why I propose Dr. Jim Deuter The academic proposed seven new tools, quality tools for digitalization. It's very difficult for the people. They are not study the statistics or not come from academic. It's quite difficult. It is a data scientist. My teacher told me, Dr. Chin say we have to integrate quality people and data scientists together. We are work together. Rather than one people learn all the things. We cannot handle all the things, but we need to work together. I think as a quality people, we understand the process, and how to improve, and we can help ask the data scientists for help or IT for help. Before we talk about quality 4.0 or 5 years ago, I also proposed a quality team work with IT team to digitalize our process to make it more efficiency. It's like long time ago, we have a document control center, but after that, we have an electronic document system. No need so many people for distribution or control the document up to date or distribution, which IT can help. And then process become a digitalized. So that is why for Hopeful in German consultants, they propose the digital lean process, use all digitalization. That is why ASQ 10 years ago, they are also proposed digitalization. And then almost 5 years ago or 3 years ago, they are talking about quality 4.0 in ASQ. So what about in your country talking about quality 4.0? Because as I know, the first proposed is from American Society for Quality, and then some discussion bring to the China and Hong Kong. Usually, Hong Kong behind America for quality management is a 5 year. After America implement all the new thing, and then maybe 5 years Hong Kong is popular. It is our former chairman told me. He is a very experienced quality consultant for a long time ago in the field. So that is why we talk about quality 4.0, but ASQ already have 3 conferences before. Every year they have the quality 4.0 summit, and I have reviewed it once. So do you think your member will be interested in this topic, and how can we treat the people more adept? Thomas, can I share the screen? I would like to share.
Yes, of course. I'll give you access.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I share one of the paper, and not this one. Just a minute. I share this one. Last year, I published a paper. It's a revamp the engineer course and student feedback during this time, and I revamped the course to include this one. Sustainability, innovation and technology, I think is important, and also introduce one course, introduce AI and advanced technology to my student, and smart manufacturing. So in this talk, I extract some of my topic here, and then the business model, startup, etc. I think I would like to treat my student from this. If you are interested, you can go HKIE.
Maybe share the link in the chat,
Yeah.
Nice.
Not in the slide, but this I can send this link to you. You can see. I try to revamp my course to my student. This is a before COVID-19 now. Now it's COVID-19 MD. And how can we make the student more understand? But it is just an introduction. Just an introduction. So we are all thinking how to make people equipped in our future quality professional. It's a lot is because if we just doing the old thing, Six Sigma, green belt, black belt, lean manufacturing, and people some study in trees for innovation, but they need to know more about the big data and data analytics now. But I'm not trying to make the quality engineer student become a data scientist. This is totally different. The background training is totally different. Even though myself, I use many statistic techniques during my research. If an undergrad usually cannot handle it for undergrad.
I think collaboration is becoming more and more important, I think, especially when it comes to Quality 4.0. All right, Professor, I'm going to end our presentation here because I see that we're already 10 minutes past 2. I'd like to thank everyone that attended. You'll get a little mail with the presentation and a little survey for the feedback, and I'd like to invite everyone, well, especially all members, to the next Quality talk, which will be on the 11th of February, so next week on Thursday. And it's going to be about quality culture and how working in civil, I don't know if you heard of them, how they handle it and how to create a real community in quality. So yeah, that's for next week. Anne? Yes?
Yeah, and it's the winner of the Business Excellence Award, I think.
Of course, yes. So thanks again, Professor Lai, and well, thanks for attending again. And see you soon.
Oh,
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.